For I am not ashamed of the gospel, for it is the power of God for salvation to everyone who believes, to the Jew first, and also to the Greek. For in it the righteousness of God is revealed from faith for faith, as it is written, the righteous shall live by faith. Paul had been imprisoned in Philippi, chased out of Thessalonica, smuggled out of Berea, laughed at in Athens, regarded as a fool in Corinth, and stoned in Galatia. But he remained eager to preach the gospel in Rome, the seat of contemporary political power and pagan religion. Only God's power is able to overcome man's sinful nature and give him a new life. The power of the gospel delivers people from being lost, from the wrath of God, from willful spiritual ignorance, from evil self-indulgence, and from the darkness of false religion. It rescues them from the ultimate penalty of their sin, separation from God and eternal punishment. In spite of the difficult situation of the church in a world that opposes it, Paul was fearless in preaching gospel truths to sinners. The shame to be avoided is not only embarrassment at being a Christian, but also for fear of repercussions of proclaiming God's truths to a world that does not want it. Jesus warned his disciples about being ashamed of him, and Paul elsewhere speaks of the foolishness of the cross. Timothy's timidity in confronting the false teachers led Paul to challenge him not to be ashamed of the Lord or of Paul himself. Paul need not worry about his own strength, for the gospel is not dependent upon him. God's power is behind gospel proclamation, so it is always productive. No human being can avoid the convicting power of the Spirit behind the announcement of God's salvation. All three members of the Godhead are involved in this divine power that brings salvation. God the Father is sovereign in salvation. The sacrificial death of the Son on the cross is the basis of salvation, and the Spirit enters the believer at the moment salvation comes. We must live by faith and proclaim the gospel with power. We must never be ashamed of the gospel. This is for all the world to know and experience.